Okay, so this is our second example on Stokes' theorem, and we're being asked to evaluate the line integral, circulation integral, by evaluating the surface integral in Stokes' theorem. We assume C has a counterclockwise orientation, so it needs to be compatible with the orientation of our region. We're given a vector field, and C is the boundary of the plane z equals 20 minus 5x minus 4y in the first octant. So let's first get a sense of what the problem's asking us to do. So in order to use Stokes' surface integral, we need to recall what Stokes tells us, and that is that if we're looking for the circulation of a vector field along a curve that's closed, this can be calculated by finding the surface integral of the curl of the field dotted with the normal, so the component of the curl that's on the surface, ds. And this is, of course, assuming that our surface is simply connected and our curve does not intersect itself, which does not in this case. Let's also think about what's going on here, right? We're given a plane, but we're not given a region or a surface. Well, the surface is the plane, and C is the boundary of the plane. And we could choose any surface we wanted to for Stokes' theorem, but we might as well just choose the plane that we can easily find the integral of. So let's do a sketch of what's going on here. And I'm just going to sketch the plane by plotting the intercepts, so we get a sense of where this plane is located in the first octant. So we have, let's see, it looks like the z-intercept is 20, and that's when both x and y are 0. The y-intercept is 5, and the x-intercept is 4. And so the region, right, is the plane enclosed by those 3 line segments. And the curve is, they're saying it oriented counterclockwise. That's difficult to tell, but we'll orient it in this direction so that as we walk along it, we see that we do have the surface to the left on our left arm, right? So if we were standing along this orientation, we know that the surface would be on our left, and so we should be having outward facing normals on our plane. All right. So we have our orientation. So let's think about what we need to do. If we need to evaluate the surface integral, we're going to have to find the curl of f, and we're going to have to find the normal to our surface. Now, we can get the normal right away because we have an explicitly defined surface. So the normal for an explicitly defined surface will be the negative partial of z with respect to x, negative partial of z with respect to y, and 1. And so for our problem, z is 20 minus 5x minus 4y. So partial of z with respect to x is negative 5, so the negative of that will be 5. Partial of z with respect to y is negative 4, so the negative of that will be 4 and 1. And that is an outward-facing normal. Let's now find the curl of our vector field. And so we'll set up the cross product of del with our vector field f. So let's do that. And so recall that del just takes partial derivatives of each component of a vector. And the components are 2xy sine z, this is our vector field, x squared sine z, and x squared y cosine z. All right. So for the I hat component, we'll take the partial of x squared y cosine z with respect to y, which gives us x squared cosine z, minus partial of x squared sine z with respect to z, which is also x squared cosine z, so that component will be 0, minus j hat, and then we'll do the partial with respect to x of x squared y cosine z. That gives us 2xy cosine z, minus partial with respect to z of 2xy sine z, which is also 2xy cosine of z. And then for our k component, we have partial with respect to x of x squared sine z, which is 2x sine z, minus partial with respect to y of 2xy sine z, another 2x sine z. And so we see here that our curl is the 0 vector. And so in our surface integral, no matter what our normal is going to be, which we have already calculated, the dot product of the normal and a curl that is 0 is just going to be 0. So we're integrating 0, which means that our answer is 0.